Hey, 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 what do you say, Frankmeisters? Good evening. Good to see everybody. How's everybody doing this evening? Hope all is well. Glad y'all can join me. Like I said on Friday, if I could get my hands on the probable cause affidavit for the murder of Rebecca Park, that I would go live, and I was successful and got it first thing this morning. So we'll go over that here in just a little bit. Just want to give a shout out to everybody and got some updates on a couple other cases that I will bring to the attention to real quick before we get started. But let's go give everybody a shout out in the chat. We got Karen Hicks. Good to see you. Wanda from Missouri. Good to see you. Miss Candy. Good to see you. My great friend, Miss Deb. Make sure you go check out her Thrift Like You Mean It girl channel over there on here on YouTube, and give a thumbs up and subscribe for me, please. Deb, or if there's another mod in here, if you could please drop her link for me. Let's see, Miss Candy again. Freedom Fighter, good to see you, PJ. Really good to see you. Miss Candy, I had seen that you had asked about Miss Kristen if I talked to her. I'm in constant contact with Kristen. Once or twice a week, probably. If not, it's every other week or so. But we just did a live last week. Well, I believe it was last week. You could go back and check my playlist. And I tried to call her earlier, but she didn't answer. But I'll let her know you were thinking about her. Who else we got in here? I'm just passing people right up. Where am I at here? Phil Bond, good to see you. Eli, what's up, bro? Mod Boss is in the house. Jinx. Junior Johnson, good to see you. While I'm going through this list, I need everybody to do me a favor. If you haven't done it already, go hit that like button, subscribe, and share. And for the people that is just listening, do the same thing for me, please. And at the end of each video, it takes about a day or two before it's actually uploaded to my playlist. Once it does, if y'all could do me a favor, there's a hype button right by the thumbs up where you go to hit the like button, scroll across, scroll left, and there'll be a hype button. Hit that hype button for me also. It helps with the algorithm. Starting to get back into the swing of things, so I'll be on YouTube more often. Susie, good to see you. Sorry it's taking me so long here. Gibbo, he's relaxing his eyes, guys. I understand that when you're reading documents, and there's 18 pages to this probable cause affidavit. And if I don't make it through all of them tonight, because it is a strain, I will pick up again and do it again tomorrow. Rescue All Dogs, one of my favorites right there. Good to see you. I thought I'd seen Autumn in here somewhere. There she is. Good to see you, Autumn. But I just got a couple updates. What was the first one? Well, we all know that Richard Allen from the Delphi case had filed an appeal. Well, the appellate court approved or granted another extension until December 17th. It's like I still talk to people about this case, and I've said the same thing every time this shit happens. I said, I'm not holding my breath. I would expect another one to be filed within the next month or prior to that, or them wanting another one, or something came up and then they're going to need another one. You know, there is delaying the inevitable for Richard Allen. That's how I look at it. And if you guys don't know who Dr. Core is the forensic pathologist who did the autopsies on the girls from the Delphi case. If you guys haven't checked him out, you need to go check him out over on Spotify. He did a segment on the Delphi media and basically was dogging the shit out of the defense and the media when it came to this case. It's basically a shit show, a circus, whatever you want to call it. You guys need to go check him out. The link is in my community section of my YouTube channel. It's pretty good, about 25 minutes long. Also, I've been following the case regarding the 24-year-old National Guardsman who was arrested for child exploitation and the other shit that comes along with it. And I went to file or call the court up in Madison County about getting a probable cause, and they have got it sealed and it's confidential, so I will not be able to get that. And the only thing I can do with that is just try to follow as much of it as I can through the courts and see what's going on with it. Jen, good to see you, hon. I just talked to you earlier today, didn't I? Yeah, we had a good long old talk today about a specific individual that won't give up, even if it's slapped her right in the face. But otherwise, let's get to this PCA. 18 pages long. Well, damn, what happened there? Okay, there we go. Where is... Sorry, I'm looking for the expand the page. And I don't see it on here. I'm looking, there it is. All right. All right, you guys see that all right? If not, I'll try to blow it up as much as I can to where that's where I'm not able to read it. Now, this affidavit of probable cause is for Bradley Allen and Courtney Marie Bartholomew. Courtney Marie Bartholomew is the biological mother of Rebecca Park, and Bradley Allen Bartholomew is the stepfather of Rebecca Park. Out of the state of Michigan, 84th District Court, people of the state of Michigan, Wexford County Sheriff's Office plaintiff. Once again, I've already given the defendant's name, affidavit of probable cause. Affiant, a duly sworn police officer with the Wexford County Sheriff's Office, attests to the following facts based on personal investigation or is swearing to the facts as presented by a fellow sworn deputy sheriff to establish probable cause that the crime of homicide, first degree, premeditated, felony murder, torture, conspiracy to commit torture, assault a pregnant individual causing miscarriage or stillborn, conspiracy to commit assault of a pregnant individual causing miscarriage or stillborn, unlawful imprisonment, removal of a dead body without the consent of the medical examiner was committed by the defendant, and affiant is respectfully seeking a warrant for the defendant's arrest. On November 4th, 2025 at 12:44, well, he should have put AM or PM, Wexford County Central Dispatch received a call from Kimberly Sue Park reporting that her sister, Rebecca K. Park, had not been seen since November 3rd, 2025 at approximately 23:30, which would be 11:30 p.m. at 30 South 21 Half Road in Boone Township of Wexford County. Deputy Reed began Wexford County Sheriff's Office incident report, which gives the report number as a missing persons investigation. At the time of the report, Rebecca Park was 38 weeks pregnant and living with her boyfriend, Richard Lee Fowler, at 1531 North 41 and a half Road in Cedar Creek Township. They should have, yeah, sorry, I'm not even going to say it. Deputy Reed spoke with Courtney Marie Bartholomew, who is Rebecca Park's biological mother and lives at 30 South 21 Half Road. Courtney reported that she was with Rebecca Park the prior night until approximately 8:30 p.m. when an unidentified friend picked Rebecca up from Courtney's residence. Courtney picked up Rebecca up from 1531 North 41 Half Road to spend some time together and get ice cream from Culver's. On the way to Culver's, Rebecca told Courtney she needed Tide Pods. So Courtney returned to her address at 30 South 21 Half Road to get some Tide Pods for her. Courtney went to the residence, grabbed the Tide Pods, and came outside. When she came outside, Rebecca told her she was going to wait at the residence for a friend to pick her up. They waited a couple of minutes, and a black sedan with tinted windows pulled across the road from the residence. Rebecca proceeded across the road and got into the front passenger seat of the vehicle. Courtney did not know the specific make or model of the sedan or the number of occupants in the car. She could not tell if the driver was male or female. She said that after this, she did not see Rebecca again. Courtney reported to Deputy Reed that she was contacted by Rebecca's fiance, Richard Fowler, regarding her location later that night. Courtney informed Rich she did not know where Rebecca was and she had left with a friend. Courtney was contacted by Kimberly Park the morning of November 4, 2025, and was sent a screenshot of the location where Rebecca's phone was pinging at Courtney's. Or pinging at, excuse me. You can't even see the period. Sorry, let me blow this up just a little more. Courtney told Deputy Reed that she proceeded down the road on West 26th Road, where she found Rebecca's phone lying by 2 tracks just off West 26th Road. This location is less than 200 yards from 330 South 21 and a half Road. Courtney checked the phone and thought Rebecca may have dropped it when she was using the restroom. Courtney reported that she took the phone to Richard Fowler's residence on Tuesday, November 4, 2025, and turned it over to him. Oh, boy. The sheriff's office issued a press release on Tuesday, November 4, 2025, identifying Rebecca Park as a missing person. She was also entered into the Law Enforcement Information Network as missing. On Wednesday, November 5th, 2025, Detective Lieutenant Pisker met with Kimberly Park when she arrived at the Wexford County Sheriff's Office. Park had suggested that she might know where Rebecca Park is when she arrived at the Sheriff's Office. When I asked her about this, she played me a voice message from Courtney Bartholomew that said that Ariana, aka I guess Clark, or last name Clark, had called her and said that the two in the car had pulled up to the Revival Center looking for Narcan and said that the pregnant woman that's missing got what she fucking deserved. Courtney stated that it was Serena Roush that said something to Rusty Clark, Ariana's father. Okay, so the last name is father. She also added, I guess it was an older guy that your sister left with. When I asked Kimberly if she knows where she is at, she answered that the only older guy that Rebecca talks to is Steve Billet. It calls him a pervert. Park believes that the Billet drives a black sedan, likely Courtney said. Steve Billet was contacted and did not appear to have had any contact with Rebecca Park. During the interview with Kimberly, she showed Detective Lieutenant Pisker a blue brand Model 4 cellular telephone, which says Rebecca Park's phone on the home screen. Kimberly reported that she has looked through the phone and observed that the last communication on the phone reported a missing video call from, what is that? Clunin14@gmail.com on Friday, October 3rd at 8:43 p.m. The last text was on Sunday, and the last phone call was Courtney Bartholomew on Sunday, November 2nd at 21:14, which would be 9:14 p.m. Kimberly identified that Rebecca used her phone regularly and daily, and because she did not see any communications on Monday, November 3rd, 2025, she suspected the records of phone activity on the 3rd have been deleted. Kimberly reported that Rebecca is known to regularly delete communication records from her cellular phone. Kimberly then played another voice message on her phone from Courtney Bartholomew, who can be heard explaining, "Okay, when Randy passed away, I was told that your sister had something to do with it. That would give Randy's family a murder revenge thing because she was involved when it came to Randy." On the message, Courtney suggested, "So Steve Billett is connected to Randy's family, so I would definitely be looking at him or at them." When I asked Kimberly if she trusted Courtney, she responded, "Not really." On Thursday, November 6, 2025 at 13:55, which would be 1:55 p.m., Detective Lieutenant Pisker obtained a search warrant for the Blue View 4 cellular telephone. Hold on just a second. What, Blade? What? Are you all right? Sorry, dude. Trying to read. All right, where we at? 4 cellular telephone that had been entered as property in the incident at item 54. The cellular device was submitted to the Indiana State Police Computer Crimes Unit on the same date at 15:16, which would be 3:16 in the afternoon. On Saturday, November 8, 2025, members of all County Search and Rescue and Christian Aid Ministry Search and Rescue with 36 personnel comprised of 5 teams searched the area where Rebecca was last seen, the area where her cellular telephone was recovered from. No additional evidence was identified. During the time, numerous tips and leads were coming in and were being actually investigated. However, none located Rebecca. Due to reported activity on Rebecca's social media platforms, pen register search warrants were obtained and served on her known social media accounts. However, no outgoing use was ever identified. On 11/15/2025, Candace Freeman reported to Deputy Jacob Copeland that her sister Courtney Bartholomew had texted her on October 28th that she had given birth to son and was asking Candace for items for the baby. Oh, shit. Through a series of text messages, Courtney asked if she was giving birth at 28 weeks. The baby was in NICU, Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, in Grand Rapids, and that she had named the baby Ashton Lee Bartholomew. Courtney told Candace she's supposed to come home this coming week. As long as he's doing good, still he will. On Monday, November 3rd, 2025 at 14:52 p.m., 2:52 p.m., Candace asked Courtney if she was able to bring the baby home, and Courtney told her no. He did a backslide, but still hoping this week. On November 3rd, 2025 at 23:17, which would be 11:17 p.m., Courtney sent Candace a text that reads, "My son passed away. On Thursday, November 4th at 11:18 p.m., Candace asked if it was because he was strong enough or if he had gotten sick. Courtney answered, I don't know what happened. I just know he wasn't getting air, and added, all I know is I watched by, it's supposed to be my child die right in front of me. Candace asked if she was there when it happened, and Courtney answered, yes, I was. On Tuesday, November 4th at 1917, which would be 1911, which would be 7:11 p.m., Courtney began to discuss with Candace that Rebecca Park is missing. All right, let's take a break real quick, and I'm going to go over the chat real quick. All right. Give me a break. Give my eyes a break for a minute. All right. So, what do you guys, what really caught my eye? She's talking about my baby. So, it's making me wonder. I talked to another creator about this, and I'm just going to throw this out there. Is there incest involved in this, you believe? Honestly, because from what I've been reading, the sister is married to a cousin. The mother married a brother of somebody. From what I read, that's what I read. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Nobody is responding. Y'all got quiet. Gibbo, yeah, it is disgusting. Are you all arguing in here about something? I can't see shit. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's almost like she got pregnant by her husband or somebody to where she's claiming it to be her baby. And I'm like, this is strange. Blade, stop, dude. You want an attention? Come here. I'm not playing. I can't play right now, dude. Or I was locked up, but Gibbo wasn't saying any of that. Saying where, what? Uh-oh. Oh, I know who you are. It's just strange. I can't imagine what I'm going to be reading here next. But really, you guys ain't really... Do the book. All right. Let's go to the next page then. I don't even know what page I'm on. On Tuesday, November 11, 2025, preservation's request for tower dump area search for the tower and the location. Don't worry about those coordinates. Between the hours of 1900, which would be 7 p.m., and 2200, 10 p.m. on November 3rd, 2025, were submitted to T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. Detective Lieutenant Piskor had contacted Courtney Bartholomew about another interview. Bartholomew was reluctant to come in, suggesting that Deputy Reed's interview with her had been thorough, but eventually agreed. On Tuesday, November 11, 2025, at 13:49 p.m., which would be 1:49 p.m., Detective Lieutenant Piskor conducted a recorded interview with Courtney Bartholomew. Give me a second. Uh-oh. Who's messaging? Give me a second. where am I at? Initially, some background on Courtney and her biological children raised by the Park family is established. Courtney then reports how Rebecca and Richard Fowler were initially dating, and then they broke up. A relationship between her and Rich then commenced. Courtney reports that she was planning to divorce Bradley. Courtney then became pregnant and was unsure who the father might be. Hold on here. Bradley or Richard? What? Oh my God. Because of this, she stopped her divorce approximately 2 weeks before the court date for her divorce. Hold on, I'm lost. I'm confused. Can anybody figure this out? Courtney pregnant, or do they mean Rebecca pregnant? Because this is saying Courtney then became pregnant, and I think that's supposed to be Rebecca. Courtney reports that she was planning to divorce Bradley. Courtney then became... Okay, we'll go back. Where are we going there? Where are we at? Courtney reports that Rich showed up at her house with the intention of shooting Bradley Bartholomew. After Courtney rejected Rich, he resumed his relationship with Rebecca Park. All in the family. Oh, my goodness. Courtney also reported that Rich had returned to her residence and raped her, forcefully, causing her to have a miscarriage of the baby she was carrying. The report of the incident was made with the sheriff's office. However, Courtney said Rich was not charged. Courtney identified that she was concerned for Rebecca, as she was aware of how abusive and aggressive Rich Fowler could be, and has encouraged Rebecca to leave Rich. Oh, I see people chatting. Oh my goodness. She was claiming she was pregnant so she could keep Rebecca's baby. Courtney, all right, we got a new name, Timberly. Courtney fabricated the story she had a baby in NICU just prior to Rebecca. So, yeah, okay, now I'm understanding that part. But when Courtney's saying that she was pregnant, what the hell's going on here? Courtney identified that she was concerned for Rebecca. She was aware. Okay, we already been out of that part. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker asked about things leading up to the weekend, Courtney reported on Kimberly and Rebecca coming over on Saturday, November 1st, 2025, to her residence at 30 South 21 and a half Road. Courtney told Detective Lieutenant Pisker about giving envelopes to Kimberly and Rebecca. These envelopes were later reported by both Kimberly and Rebecca to have been empty. Courtney said that she was going to give Rebecca cash and didn't want Kimberly to feel left out. So she wanted Kimberly to set up an account so she could put money in an account for her. Courtney then reported having forgot to give Rebecca some items from her baby while at the house. So she contacted Rebecca and then brought the items to her at Richard Fowler's house Saturday night. Courtney then told Detective Lieutenant Pisker that on Sunday, November 2nd, 2025, she was supposed to pick Rebecca up to have milkshakes at Dairy Queen and get Rebecca laundry soap. These plans fell through when Rebecca went to Cadillac Munson Hospital as she thought she was in labor. Courtney reported that she and Bradley both visited Rebecca and Rich in the hospital that day. It is confirmed that Rebecca was not in labor, had only dilated to 1, and she was released from the hospital. Bartholomew drove Rebecca and Rich home from the hospital. Courtney said that said that when they arrived at Fowler's, he was throwing their bags, and Rebecca had whispered to her that Rich had been acting like a real big ass, Mom. Courtney offered to take her home with her, and Rebecca requested that they just meet for milkshakes tomorrow, Monday, November 3rd, and talk. All right, let me go through this again. Well, thank you for jumping in there, Timberly. Greatly appreciated. Gail Hurd, good to see you. Just making sure there's people that didn't come in. I missed. Give me a second, guys. I could have swore I've just seen one I've never seen before. Where is that? There's Delulu. Good to see you. All right, back to where we were at. Monday, November 3rd, 2025, Courtney said that she went to pick up Rebecca up between 1830, which would be 6:30, and 1900, which would be 7 o'clock at Fowler's. Courtney reports that as they ride, Rebecca said she was tired, which she confronted by telling her she looked stressed. She claimed that Rebecca was upset with Rich, identifying that he had been hounding her to obtain money to fix his truck. Courtney talked about how she encouraged Rebecca to leave Rich, but said Rebecca was afraid to leave him. Courtney said when they arrived at her house, she gave Rebecca an envelope with $2,000 in it. And they discussed Courtney's throwing her a baby shower. She identified that Rebecca didn't want a baby shower because she was afraid that Child Protective Services was going to take the baby. Courtney said that while they were talking, Rebecca was texting on her phone and mentioned the possibility that she had two phones. Courtney said that she went into the house to get the laundry soap and that when she came back out, she said, I noticed that she deleted something, but didn't know what it was or which phone it might have been on. Courtney said that she told Rebecca that she would take her back home, but Rebecca told her to hold on. She had someone coming to get her. Ooh-wee. All right, back to the chat. Any thoughts, any questions, any responses so far? I don't even know what page I'm on. I'm on page 4. Well, I'm getting ready to start page 5, actually. Yeah, it's kind of confusing to follow along. All right. Get back to it. All right, I gotta get back. All right, here we go. Courtney said she pulled out of her driveway and a car came up behind her. She identified that she didn't ask Rebecca who it was out of fear she would push her away, but Rebecca had told her she would be back. Courtney said the car had dark tinted windows. There was no plate on the front. She said she could tell it was a Chevy. When questioned, that social media was reported that the car had the taillights of an Impala. Courtney confirmed she was the source of the information. Courtney talked about someone Rebecca knows who has a Chrysler 300 also having a similar taillights. Bartholomew didn't follow the car as she began. She said that it would upset Rebecca if she had. Courtney said that at about 2300, which would be 11 p.m., she reached out to Kimberly to get Rich's number. At about 23:30, 11:30 p.m., she said she tried to call Rich. So she sent him a text that Rebecca had left with someone. Courtney confirmed that Rebecca was texting while they were together. Her next contact with Rich was Tuesday morning, and she reported telling him that she had given Rebecca $2,000. Courtney then said that Rebecca sent her the GPS location to Rebecca's phone, which she said she put into her phone, and it took her right to the phone. When I asked who went and got the phone, Courtney then identified we, who was identified as Bradley and herself. It's reported that Bradley found the phone and then handed it to Courtney. Detective Lieutenant Pisker confronted Courtney of the image she had sent to Rebecca of a check that was made out in her name for $18,000. She claims that when her mother died, she was left money to do with what she pleased. Courtney confirmed that she sent an image of a check to Rebecca that she had not given the check to her. Courtney denied that there was a similar check made out to Kimberly. Rebecca that Courtney had tried to give the meeting prior has fallen through because it didn't have things in place that she needed to. Courtney said it was simply getting kids together at one time was what wasn't falling into place. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker confronts Courtney that the phone records for the phone that was found on the 2-track was not used to summon someone to pick her up, Courtney then identified that there are possibly 2 other phones she uses. Oh, here goes the excuses or the deflection. Courtney brings up the names of other people she thinks she may be involved in based on rumors, specifically that Mike Haynes and Ashley Rose were supposed to help Rebecca get away from Fowler. As Detective Lieutenant Pisker discussed phone locations records with Courtney, she confirms that she picked Rebecca up between 1830, which is 6:30 p.m., and 1900, 7 p.m., and came south on South 41 and a half road to Mackinac Trail and turned west onto East 33/4 road to continue out to her residence on South 21 and a half road. Location data from Rebecca Park's phone supported this routine of travel. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker confronted Courtney with the accusation that she killed Rebecca Park, she asked, "Why the fuck would I do that?" saying that she would never hurt her daughter. During this interview, Courtney Bartholomew said she did not know where Rebecca Park was. When Courtney was asked if she had done anything to harm Rebecca, she again said, would not harm her daughter. While discussing the pickup truck at her residence that was reported to never moved but had been moved recently, Courtney reported it doesn't have seats in it, but said that it was moved recently to make room to access the porch. Courtney said that Kimberly and Rebecca do not like Bradley Bartholomew. On Tuesday, November 11th, 2025, at 15:40 p.m., which is 3:40, Detective Lieutenant Pisker conducted a recorded interview with Bradley Bartholomew. He confirmed his cellular telephone number as you can see there. When asked about Rebecca, Bradley reported that they don't get along. He explained that it is due to his criminal history. He described Rebecca and Courtney's relationship as rocky. Bradley said that he was not around on Monday when Rebecca was at the house. He had identified that he was at my place and described living in the woods near Harrietta and the fish hatchery. As Detective Lieutenant Pisker was attempting to confirm his presence there, Bradley said he was alone and that his phone was with Courtney as her phone was about to be shut off. All right. Looks like they've had their trying to get their stories together here between Courtney and Bradley. To me, it's what it looks like. Courtney and Bradley Bartholomew Cecil Hotel. Courtney is the biological mother of Rebecca Park, the murdered victim, and Bradley is the stepfather, the ones that have been charged in her death. Yeah, this family's whacked. I'm just going through here. Honestly, I'm done for the night. She's probably heard enough of this crazy shit that's going on in this PCA. All right, another couple pages. All right. The truck at the house was discussed and identified as not having moved in years. Bradley said that he had been driving the truck up until October 21st, 2025, when the license plate expired. When asked if the seats were out of the truck, Bradley confirmed that they had been. He explained a similar explanation that they are cleaning the truck up for Courtney's son, Bentley, to drive when he turned 16. When Bradley was asked when he found out about Rebecca Park was missing, he had identified it was Monday night or Tuesday morning. He again denied being at the residence. Bradley told Detective Lieutenant Pisker that on Tuesday, November 4, 2025, Courtney Bartholomew was in town. And when he was at the house with Bentley, when Courtney texted him the location of where Rebecca's phone was. Bradley said he refused to go out there alone because I'm not being accused of anything. Bradley said that when Courtney got home, they went out there to look for the phone based on a ping that Kimberly Park had sent to Courtney. Bradley confirmed that he was the person who found Rebecca's cellular device on the 2-track near 30 South 21 Half Road, and he picked it up and handed it to Courtney. Bradley said he didn't know how Rebecca's phone ended up on the trail, but suggested she had walked that trail in the past. On Monday, November 24, 2025, Courtney Bartholomew came to the sheriff's office, and Detective Lieutenant Pisker began a recorded interview with her. Again, there is a discussion about the TikTok live conversation. I asked Courtney about a cellular device that a bounty hunter dropped off at the Clare City Police Department. She identified this phone was provided by Kimberly. During this meeting, I asked Courtney about Kimberly's personal property and her vehicle. She confirmed that she was in possession of items that belonged to Kimberly. However, she didn't want to leave the items with me to return to Kimberly. On Monday, November 24th, 2025, Bradley Bartholomew was interviewed by Detective Lieutenant Tim Highland at the Michigan State Police Crime Laboratory in Grayling. During the interview, Bradley reported that he is trying to protect Kimberly Park. He said that Kimberly took Rebecca down to a 2-track behind the house, and he stated, "I believe she's dead." Bradley Bartholomew said to Detective Lieutenant Heelan that he was present during a dinner with Courtney Bartholomew, Rebecca Park, and Kimberly Park on Saturday, November 1st of 2025 at 30 South 21 and a half Road. During this time, Bradley said that Kimberly had a private conversation with him, asking about the 2 tracks behind the house, and that Kimberly stated she needed to get Rebecca out of the picture. On Tuesday, November 25th, 2025 at 14:16, which would be 2:16 p.m., Wexford County Central Dispatch received a 911 call from Courtney Letterman from telephone number as shown, stating that she had found a body covered with leaves that looks gutted. The location of the body was approximately 2.5 miles in straight line west of 30 South 21.5 Road at excuse me, in Anno Township, Wexford County on a Forest Service Road 9784. Wexford County Deputy Jacob Koppinen responded to the area, observed the remains, and reported the deceased female had a tattoo above the left eye. Koppinen reported that the abdomen area of the body appears to have cut open. The tattoo located above the left eye is consistent with the Michigan driver's license image of Rebecca K. Park. Michigan State Trooper Cody Campbell was inside the residence of 30 South 21 Half Road on Tuesday, November 25th, 2025, securing the residence until the Michigan State Police Crime Laboratory personnel could search the home based on a search warrant that had been authorized on that date. While in the presence of Courtney Bartholomew and Bradley Bartholomew, Courtney and Bradley were discussing amongst themselves loud enough for Trooper Campbell to hear. Courtney mentioned to Bradley that the seat cover from the Ford F-150 in the driveway had recently been burnt and disposed of due to something having been spilled on it or them. A search warrant was served on T-Mobile for Bradley Bartholomew, known cellular telephone number, which is present on the screen. The records that were produced pursuant to the search warrant show Bradley Bartholomew's device active in the area of 30 South 21.5 Road on November 3rd, 2025. Further, these records show device movement and lingering in the area consistent with where Bradley and Courtney reported recovered Rebecca Park's cellular device and where her body was discovered on November 25th, 2025, and on several occasions on Monday, November 3rd, 2025, in the evening hours. These records may take place after the records obtained from Rebecca Park's phone. Network demonstrates her arriving in the area of 30 South 21.5 Road, November 3rd, 2025, shortly after 7 p.m. Cellular Bright extraction location at the residence of 30 South 21.5 Road at 1916, which would be 7:16 p.m. Additionally, records from Rebecca Park's phone extraction shows location consistent with the reported location of recovery of the device. A search warrant was served on Verizon for Courtney Bartholomew's known telephone number appearing on the screen. The records that were produced pursuant to the search warrant show Courtney Bartholomew in the area of 30 South 21.5 Road, and both Bradley and Courtney records show them in communication with one another shortly after her arrival with Rebecca Park at 30 South 21.5 Road. Additionally, Courtney Bartholomew's phone records have actually consistent with her interview statements that she traveled to pick up Rebecca Park up at Richard Fowler's residence at the address listed above, then transporting to the house on 30 South 21.5 Road. Bradley Bartholomew's call detail records show the following calls of investigative internet. Ooh, it looks like he at 6:12:56 p.m. Outgoing call from Bradley to Courtney to 17, or it'll be 7:29. Second call from Bradley to Courtney at 7:33. Courtney at the time of the call at 6:12. Device network records shows Bradley and Courtney device mirror the area of 30 South 21 and a half Road. And this precedes the activity of Rebecca's device coming into the area of 30 South 21 and a half Road. Affiant is aware of the calls at 7:29 p.m., 7:33 again, showed Brad and Courtney's device in the area of 30 South 21 and a half Road after Rebecca's device records show her arrival in that same area. I think we're going to stop right there because we've been at it an hour. I am on page 6, and I know exactly where we're at on page 6. But we're going to discuss this for a minute before we end the show. All right. It's the murder of Rebecca Park by her parents up in Michigan that took place last month, Cecil. I need information on Tim Deeds. I was talking about this the other day. I need information, whatever information I can get, documentation, police records, investigation records, autopsy. I know it's been declared a suicide, but for what I've been seeing so far, a lot of people are saying there's no way it's a suicide. That's why I want to see all this stuff so I could take a look at that case, guys. I'm just going through the chat. I don't see a whole lot going on. Everybody, if you haven't done so and you're new to the channel, go over to Gibbo Frank's channel and hit that like, subscribe, and share. Who else do we got in here? Of course, Jinx. She takes care of the Flora Fort channels. She's been posting about them all day. Go over there and check them out. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Just going back through here real quick. We got Freedom Fighters, PJ's channel. Go over there and hit that like, subscribe, and share. Doodlebug, same thing, her channel. Aurora, Miss Deb. You're welcome, Freedom Fighter. That's what we do. Yeah, I mean, as much information as I can get. If there's any deposition, interviews, anything, if they want to come up and talk or whatever they want to do, they're more than welcome to. Because it's a lot easier for me to have documentation so I can review what's being talked about and make a determination on what my opinion is, especially the autopsy report. That's really what I want to look at also. I wasn't presented online or anything. I just want to review it and see what they're saying. Barbara, get with me. Here is my email. Thanks for hopping in, Barbara. As much information you can send me, the better. And I'll cover it. But if you guys haven't already, go hit that like, subscribe, and share. If you're able to, help support the channel that way, or you can go to my Venmo. There's my Venmo account. You're welcome, Doodlebug. But it's that time. It's 8 o'clock. It's been an hour. I will reschedule another live to pick up on this PCA tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on who's all scheduled tomorrow. But you guys will get the notification as soon as I set up the live stream. But until then, guys, everybody in the chat, mods, thank you so much. Love you guys. Until next time, guys. Peace out. One love. Good night.